ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। सुखं नित्यं स्वप्रकाशं व्यापकं नामरूपयोः अधिष्ठानं बुद्ध्यबोध्यं बुद्धिर्दृग्यत्तु निर्मलम् अपारं सर्ववेदान्त वेद्यं प्रत्यक्परं महः तदेवाहं न मत्तोऽन्यदिति मे निश्चिता मतिः। So Guruji is answering the question of Shishya or a doubt of a Shishya. The doubt is regarding crucial topic, and that is Jiva Brahma Aikya. And he had twofold doubts. One is Prameyagata Samshaya, other is Pramanagata Samshaya. Means the doubt regarding the Aikyam based on the Swarupa Bheda of Jiva. Means Jiva Swarupa is different, Ishvara Swarupa is different. Therefore, Jiva Ishvara cannot be one. That is Prameyagata Samshaya. Pramanagata Samshaya, that Jiva and Ishvara are presented to be different by Shruti herself. And the Karma Kanda portion also justifies or the supports the difference between Jiva and Ishvara. Therefore, how can there be oneness between Jiva and Ishvara? In that connection, Acharya is presenting the answer by the prakriya called Chit Chatur Vidya Prakriya, where these 4 types of consciousness are presented. And the approach of the teacher is that Jiva can be seen as consisting of this reflected consciousness and original consciousness. Bimba Chaitanyam and Pratibimba Chaitanyam. Ishvara also can be seen as Bimba Chaitanyam, Pratibimba Chaitanyam. And out of this two, this Pratibimba Chaitanya level, there is a difference between Jiva and Ishvara, and Bimba Chaitanya level, there is no difference between Jiva and Ishvara. So to convey this idea, these 4 types of consciousness are talked about. So the final culmination of this description is in oneness of Jiva and Ishvara. So finally what will be said? There is only one consciousness which is called Jiva, which is called Ishvara. But behind both of them, only one Chaitanyam is there. That is the Tatparyam. With that Tatparyam, 4 types of consciousness are talked about, and for that the 4 types of Akasha are talked about. Space, and that is the topic we are saying. Chaturvida Akasha Varnanam. In that Ghatakasha is the space which is occupied by the pot along with its wall. And Tippadikara explained that why we are not going by the general understanding of Ghatakasha. And what is general understanding? That Ghatakasha is the space obtaining inside the pot. Then he said if we do that, then we have to assume the 5th Akasha. It will be a new Akasha which is not talked about, which is not generally considered. So we have to bring in new Akasha. And anything which is considered to be newly brought in is Arambha, is considered to be new initiative. And in Siddhanta we do not accept Arambhavada, Therefore, we are not accepting the fifth Akasha, and we are including this so-called fifth Akasha, what you would have thought, in this Ghatakasha only. So Ghatakasha means the Akasha inside the pot and Akasha occupied by the walls of the pot, and that is Ghatakasha. Alright. Then second is Jalakasha. The space which is reflected in the water of the pot. That is the main constituent. But because of some technical requirement, not only the space reflected in water is Jalakasha, but the reflecting medium, Jalam, is also included in Jalakasha. Why? Because without the reflecting medium, this reflection is not possible. And you cannot have mere reflection and no reflecting medium. You can have reflection only when reflecting medium is there. And therefore here, this space reflected in water also implies the presence of the water. And therefore in Jalakasha, even though Jalakasha primarily means the space reflected in water, but without this reflecting medium Jalam, it is not possible to have this Pratibimba of Akasha, therefore Jalam is included. And Pratibimba cannot be there without the Bimba. Wherever Pratibimba is there, Bimbam has to be there. Therefore Bimba Kasha Sthaniya, Ghatakasha also is included. So Ghatakasha, Bimba Kasha, then the space reflected in water, the Jalakasha, and Jala. All three put together is called Jalakasha. Alright. And then question was raised, how this Akasha can have Pratibimba? Then we gave the answer that Akasha can have Pratibimba like sound does not have Rupam, still has Pratibimba. Because Purvapakshi wanted to say that Akasha cannot have Pratibimba because Akasha does not have Rupam. That which does not have forms and color cannot have Pratibimba. And Akasha does not have Rupam. So how can it have Pratibimba? For that Siddhanti answered. He said, first answer is that we are seeing the depth in this water when we are seeing the reflection of the objects. When we are seeing not only objects, we are seeing the distance between the two objects. We are seeing the height of the objects, which will be seen as the depth in the reflection. So we are seeing the depth, we are seeing the height, and height, depth, etc. are in the form of space only. They are space only. Space alone is experienced by us as distance. Space alone is experienced by us as depth, etc. And therefore, our experience is of the depth in reflection, therefore Akasha is reflected. That is Anubhava. And secondly, the Tippanikara explained, and as Mula Granthakara also said, that we have example that sound, even though it does not have this Rupam, Nirupa Shabda, also has got the reflection. Of course, the reflection of form will be different and reflection of sound will be different. And reflection of form we are calling reflection generally. And reflection of sound we are calling echo. But both of them are reflection only. Reflection means what? Throwing back. So that is happening in sound also, is thrown back, bounces back. So similarly, it happens in the Pratibimba also. So both of them are this Pratibimba only, whether it is of sound or it is of this object. So both of them can have Pratibimba. And therefore we don't have such what is called insistence that only the thing which has got Rupam will have Pratibimba. So Nirupa also can have Pratibimba. And Tippanikara supported that idea with the logic of Nayayikas itself. The logic is that Guna, Rupam is a Guna, and Guna cannot have Guna. Therefore Rupam will not have Rupam. Therefore Rupam is Nirupam. The form is formless. Color is colorless. And so colorless color is reflected. Means Rupa Rahita Rupam, Nirupam Rupam is reflected in the mirror. Not only Dravya is reflected, the Guna also is reflected. And so Nirupa Rupa, if it can be reflected, why not Nirupa Atma or Nirupa Akasha be reflected? And so the Vyabhichara was shown in the rule that anything which is Nirupa cannot have Pratibimba. We said it cannot be said. Where is Vyabhichara? That Nirupa Rupa itself is reflected. So Yatra Nirupatvam Tatra Pratibimba Rahityam, that type of rule you cannot make. Why? Because that rule is violated in the case of the Rupam itself. Alright. So finally, Jalakasha means the space reflected in the water of the pot, water and the pot space. All three put together is called Jalakasha. But simple meaning when we refer to Jalakasha, primarily it means the reflection of Akasha in water. Jale Pratibimbita Akasha Jalakasha. That is the main meaning. But other things are technically included. Alright. Now next one is Meghakasha. What is that? Meghasthitaye Yavan Akashaha Avakasham Dadati Tavan Akashaha Meghajale Pratibimbita Meghajale Pratibimbita Akashaha Cha iti Ubhayam Militva Meghakashaha iti Abhidhiyate. So Yavan Akasha, Akasha of whatever extent, Avakasham Dadati gives the accommodation for the staying of the clouds. For clouds to be there, whatever Akasha is giving the accommodation, that Akasha is called Meghakasha. In simple words, whatever space occupied by the clouds, that is called Meghakasha. The space conditioned by the clouds is called Meghakasha. And technically, Meghajale Pratibimbitaha cha Akashaha iti Ubhayam, and whatever the Akasha reflected in the Meghajala, in the water of clouds, that also is included in Meghakasha. So Meghakasha is the Meghakasha primarily refers to the Pratibimbita Akasha. And by extension, it includes the Akasha which is required for Megha to stay, clouds to stay. So the Megha Avachinna Akasha and Megha Pratibimbita Akasha, both put together is called Meghakasha. Alright. So here Meghakasha is primarily Pratibimba Akasha. And by extension, it includes Bimbakasha. And Mahakasha is the Bimbakasha. So in these four Akasha, two are Bimbakasha, two are Pratibimbakasha. So what are the Bimbakasha? Ghatakasha and Mahakasha, they are Bimbakasha, original space. And the Jalakasha and Meghakasha, they are the Pratibimbakasha, the reflected space. Alright. But in that reflected space, the original space is included. Alright. Now, this question is raised, as the question was raised in the Jalakasha topic, that how Akasha can have reflection. So there only one question was there, that how space can have reflection in water. Here two questions are there. What is the first question? How do you say that there is water in the clouds? That is first question. And second question is, how can you say that there is a reflection of space in that cloud or in that water which is in the cloud? So two questions. These Meghe Jalam Vartate iti atra kim manam. What is the pramanam that there is water in the clouds? Because we are not seeing water. And second is, what is the pramanam for this reflection of space in that imagined water? You are imagining water. In that imaginary water, there is a reflection of space. What is the pramana? So two questions are raised. He says, Nanu akashe asti megha. The objection is, the cloud is there in space. Tatra meghe jalam akasham pratibimbaha cha asti iti atra kim manam. Tatra, there in the cloud, or that being so, in megha, in cloud, jalam, water is there, and akasha pratibimba also is there, the reflection of space is there. Iti atra, with regard to this, kim manam, what is the pramanam? And here it is, this kim is aksheparthe kim. What is akshepaha? Nishedhabhiprayena prashnaha akshepaha. In Mandukya, this Tippanikara writes, what is akshepaha? Nishedhabhiprayena prashnaha. The question which is raised with the intention of negating, then it is called akshepaha. Like we will say, in this rainy season, who will go there? Means nobody will go. So who will go is not with the idea that you please tell me the name of the person. No. Who will go means nobody will go. So to dismiss the possibility of anybody going, we use the word who will go. So that who will be not question, it will be akshepa. So the word kim has got both the meanings. Prashnarthe kim, aksheparthe kim. So here it is aksheparthe kim. And akshepa means negation. So kim manam, what is the meaning? Manam nasti iti artha. So with regard to the water being there in cloud, and with regard to the reflection being in the clouds, there is no pramanam. Kim manam, there is kimapi manam nasti. This is the doubt. This is the objection. Iti chet, if this is the doubt, na. So here we have to take kim as the aksheparthe. Because otherwise, kim manam and na answer. What is the pramanam? No. Means no pramanam. That will be the answer. No, it is not like that. Kim manam means manam nasti. Iti chet, if this is your contention, na. Manam nasti iti na. Manam asti. So pramanam asti. Means pramanam nasti iti na. Acha. So he has to give two pramanams. One for establishing existence of water in clouds. And second is establishing the reflection of space in clouds. Yeah, clouds or water in the clouds, either way you say. So first he is telling that pratyaksha pramana is not there. You are right. Yadyapi meghe jalasya akasha pratibimbasya cha na pratyakshaha grahanam. Yadyapi, even though up to this we had said, I think. Huh? Whole sentence we had seen? Yeah. Okay, yes. Yadyapi, yes. Yadyapi, even though meghe, in clouds, jalasya, of water, akasha pratibimbasya cha, and of the reflection of space, pratyakshataha grahanam, the perception cognition by perception is not there. Means Siddhanta is accepting the difficulty of Purvapakshi. He said, yes, you are right. By pratyaksha, by perception, there is no cognition of water in cloud and the reflection of space in cloud. You are right. So Purvapakshi feels good. Now Siddhanta is understanding me, my problems. Yes, is pratyakshataha grahanam nasti. Athapi, still, anumanena grahanam sambhavati eva. But by anumanam, by inference, the grahanam, cognition of both of them, sambhavati eva, is possible. Acha. So both of them is Jala and Akasha Pratibimba. Tathahi. The explanation follows. Meghat Jalavrustehe Darshanat Tatra Jalamasti iti Anumiyate. So he is giving simple reason. Say Meghat Jalavrustehe Darshanat. Because of the observation of Jalavrushti, pouring of water. From what? Clouds. Since there is observation of pouring of water from clouds, Tatra jalamasti. There water is there. There means meghe. In cloud there is water. Iti anumiyate. In this manner, anumanam can be done. So what will be the anumana form? Megaha jalavan. Why? Jalavrushte srotatvat. Jalatankavat. Tanka means tank. In Sanskrit, really, that I was surprised. I wanted to form this anumanam, so I wanted tank. So I said, what is the Sanskrit word for tank? Tanka. Tanka is called tank. English tank is tankaha. So tanka, pulling shabda. Tankaha. So what is the anumanam? Megaha jalavan. Jala vrishti srotatvat. Or jalasrotatvat. It is the source of water. Or jalasechana srotatvat. Why? Jalatankavat. Like water tank. From water tank when is leaking, so water comes out. Without leaking also it comes. So when you open it comes. So since water comes from the water tank, and when it can come? When water is there. Therefore, when water doesn't come, what we say? Tank must be empty. And water comes means water is there in the tank. And therefore, anything which is the source of water must have water. That's simple logic. So, cloud is having water because it is the source of this water coming, like water tank. Alright, so Meghat Jalavrustehe Darshanat Tatra Jalamasti iti Anumiyate. So the Tarkika, we have to explain a little more details. We have to tell them. See, when water is poured on the ground, that time is there anything else? Aeroplane is not there. That aeroplane is putting water. Otherwise you will say that Vichara and all this. So aeroplane is nothing is there. What is there? Only clouds are there. And if water is not there in the clouds, then it would not have come. But it is coming. Therefore, cloud is the only source of water. And therefore, cloud has water. For us, it is very, very practical. We never doubted that cloud doesn't have water. We didn't have any problem. But some people may have that doubt for every obvious thing also doubts may be there. So we have to talk to them in that language. All right. Jalamastiti anumiyate. And that anumanam can be presented in the form of arthapatti. Also that is presented here. Yadi meghe jalam nasyat tarhi tataha jalavrushtihi nasyat. If there was no water in the clouds, tarhi then tataha means meghat. From clouds, jalavrushtihi nasyat. The pouring of water will not be there. Kintu, we have to supply here. Kintu jalavrushtihi meghat bhavati. Ataha meghe jalam asti. There is I told in a simpler way. There is arthapatti people will do it in a different way. They will put in a technical way. We need not bother about this. Arthapatti means otherwise not possible. Otherwise untenable. Means if water was not there in the cloud, this water would not have been poured from the cloud. But it's poured, therefore water is there in the clouds. Okay, so one anumanam is over. That cloud has got water. Not water has got cloud. Cloud has got water. It was coming to my mind like that. So cloud has got water. Kincha. Now, moreover, second thing. What? That in that cloud there is pratibimba. So first cloud has to have got water. Now cloud has to have pratibimba. Kincha, moreover, Meghastham. Here he gives clear Anumanam itself, so we don't have to do anything. Meghastham jalam akasha pratibimba vishishtam swachha dravyatvat darpanadivat. So Meghastham jalam, the water obtaining in the cloud is akasha pratibimba vishishtam, is endowed with the reflection of space. Why? Swachha dravyatvat, because of being pure substance. Pure means shining, refined substance. Shining surface it is, and therefore it will have pratibimba. Darpanadivat, like mirror, etc. Puja Swamiji used to say, including the head of the bald fellow. So that also is Swacha Dravya, so shining can be there. In our Shastra, we use the eye also. Our eyes also is called Swacha Dravya. So you can see the reflection of somebody. We have to do some meditation. That person has to steadily sit, other person. So in Dakshina Akshini Purusha, that idea is given. So any Swacha Dravya is there, the Pratibimba will be there. So Vyapti is what? Yatra Swacha Dravyatvam, Tatra Akasha Pratibimba Vishishtatvam. Of course, if light etc. is there, then only it will happen. So wherever Swacha Dravya is there, Akasha Pratibimba is there. Iti Anumanena, by this Anumane, Meghastha Jale Akasha Pratibimba Anumanam cha Siddhyati. So just as Jalam Siddhyati Anumanena, and similarly Meghastha Jale Akasha Pratibimba Anumanam cha. So Meghe Jalanumanam Siddhyati and Meghastha Jale Akasha Pratibimbanumanam. The inference of the reflection of space Siddhyati is established. So two Anumanam are given. One is Meghe Jalanumanam and other is Jale Akasha Pratibimbanumanam. So two Anumanas are given. The inferences are given. Alright. Yadi asti jalam tarhi tad jalam akasha pratibimben vina na syat iti hi niyamah. So how do you establish that akasha pratibimba will be there in jalam? He said that is the rule observation we see, the observation we have. Yadi asti jalam, if water is there, tarhi then tad jalam akasha pratibimben vina na syat. Then that water will not be there without the reflection of space. Itihi niyamaha. Since there is well-known, he means well-known rule is there. Evam, in this manner, meghe jalam tatra akasha pratibimbaha cha anumanena prasiddhyati. In this manner, the water in the cloud and the reflection in that water, both of them are established by anumanam, inference. So that was incidental discussion. We are not here, this is not the main topic. But since the Meghakasha was talked about, the space reflected in the cloud, then the doubts will be there, therefore answered. So first Akasha is Ghatakasha, this Bimba Akasha. Second is Jalakasha, Pratibimba Akasha. Then third Meghakasha, again Pratibimba Akasha. What is the difference between Jalakasha and Meghakasha? Jalakasha represents the micro reflected Akasha and Meghakasha represents the macro, this Pratibimba Akasha. So both of them are Pratibimba Akasha, reflected space, but one is micro, other is macro, Vyashti and Samashti. And here Megha, just this want of any other example we are using. Actually, Megha should be understood as that cloud which is there all over. Generally, we have a small Megha, small cloud, maximum maybe half a kilometer or something. No, we have to imagine the cloud all over, because this Megha is representing the Samashti Upadhi. And therefore, here Megha we should understand as very huge cloud. The total is as big as the Brahmanda is. That type of this Megha is there, which is pervaded by space, which is having the reflection of space, and that reflection of space is called Meghakasha. So Meghakasha primarily refers to the space reflected in the clouds. And because of technical requirements, the Bimba Akasha also is included. Alright, then Mahakasha. Mahakasha is Brahmandasya Antarbahihi cha व्यापक रूपेण वर्तमानः आकाशः महाकाशः इति उच्यते विद्वद्भिः. Mahakasha in English we translate as a total space. Alright, what is total space? Brahmandasya antarbahihi cha, inside and outside the Brahmanda. Vyapya, pervading the inside and outside of Brahmanda. Ekarupena vartamanaha, which is present uniformly. That Akasha is Mahakasha, is called Mahakasha, total space. In this manner, Vidvadbihi Uchyate. In this manner, it is presented by scholars. So, Mahakasha is this Bimba Akasha at Samashti level. And Ghatakasha is also Bimba Akasha at Vyashti level. So, Vyashti Bimba Akasha, the individual original space is called Ghatakasha. And this individual original space is called Ghatakasha. And total original space is called Mahakasha. And individual reflected space is called Jalakasha. And total reflected space is called Meghakasha. Alright. So these are the four Akasha. Two are original Bimba, two are Pratibimba. One in that Pratibimba also, one is individual, other is total. Alright, so the four Akashas are described. Acha, all Tippani is also done. Now, Chaitanyasya Chaturvidya Varnanam. So that was so far what was presented was Drishtanta. Now Dashtanta is presented. Chaturvidya means of four types of Chaitanyam, consciousness, Varnanam, description. Description of four types of consciousness. And for that, Upodghataha. Upodghata means introduction to this topic. Hey Somya, every now and then teacher is telling, hey Somya, oh good looking one. Chaturvidhakasha Lakshanam Uktam. The space of four types is told. Chaturvidha Chaitanya Lakshanam api Uchyamanam Shrunu. So, also, the Chaitanyam which is of four types, which is Uchyamanam, which is going to be told by me, Shrunu, may you listen to. So far I have talked to you about four types of space. Now you listen to about four types of consciousness. Because Dashtanta is the main thing. Drashtanta person is very enthusiastic. Dashtanta he comes, he sleeps. That's why he says Shrunu. So please remain awake. Swami, I think Taranandi is to translate. Shrunu means Kan laga ke sun. Means Kan laga ke sun means you please lend your ears. That's all. Kan laga ke sun. Dhyan dekar suno. So that Shrunu. Otherwise, see, this Shrunu has got no meaning. This Guru is speaking, Shishya is listening. So why says Shrunu? To draw the attention that what I am going to tell you is now important. In between you had some nap, no problem, but now listen. That's why Shrunu has got importance. Really it happens sometimes. See, you wanted to understand some topic and you go to the person to listen, or you are recording, you are listening. Then, crucially when the main topic comes, you fall asleep. Before that you are awake, but when main topic comes, or sometimes when you are listening and main topic you become very conscious, too conscious, and therefore what, God. Because main thing is told in only 2-3 sentences only, because background has been already created. Therefore, Shrono, Dhyan laga ke suno. Tasya Shravana Matrena Vicharasya Mahaphalam Brahmagnanam Avapyeta is glorifying Arthavada. Tasya Shravana Matrena, by mere listening to this description of four types of consciousness, Vicharasya Mahaphalam. The great result of this inquiry, which is Brahma Jnanam, the knowledge of Brahman, avapyeta, would be attained. Is a karmani prayoga, avapyeta. Okay. Now, Kutastha Varnanam. So, 4 types of consciousness are there. The first one is Kutastha. Kutastha is what? Ghatakasha Sthaniya. He is going to tell. So, there is a matching. So, Ghatakasha is Ghatakasha is a comparison for Kutastha. Huh? Oh, Chaturvidya Chaitanya. Yes. Okay, let us see. So, this Chaturvidya means Chaturvidya Chaitanyam, 4 types of consciousness. Now he says that some people say only 3 types of consciousness. ये थोड़ा झगड़ा होता है इसमें. 3 types or 4 types. Then Tippanikara says that if you say 3 types somewhere it is said, then the 4th one should be included in one. That's all. Nothing. Consciousness will remain whatever it is. Only thing is that it is like 3 bags you are carrying or 4 bags you are carrying. So when you go to the airport, 4 become 3. You put 1 bag into another bag. So that's what we do. So that's what it is. So sometimes when outside the airport is inside the airport. So sometimes 4 consciousness, 3 consciousness. There is no discrepancy. Total luggage remains the same. Weight is the same. Only just you rearrange. We do rearrange. Okay. So that is the tippani. Keshu chit Vedanta grantheshu jivaha isha brahma iti chit traividya prakriya ashrita. Keshuchit Vedanta Grantheshu means in some Vedanta text, Chit Traividya Prakriya, the method of presenting 3 types of consciousness. Ashrita means resorted to, means the method of presenting consciousness as threefold is resorted to. And what are the 3? Jivaha, Ishaha, Brahma. So Jiva Chaitanyam, Isha Chaitanyam and Brahma Chaitanyam. These are the 3 Chaitanyam. And he said where? He gives one more source where this Trivida Chaitanyam is referred to. Anadi Padartha Shatka Nirupane Chaitanya Traividyam Eva Uktam. In the description of Anadi Shat Padartha, Shatka means group of 6. In the description of 6 beginningless things, Chaitanya Traividyam Eva Uktam. Threefold consciousness alone is told. What is the shloka? You are expecting, no? It has come, no, here? Vichara Sagara.
Jiva Isha Tayor Vedaha.
You started some in between.
Third part.
Okay. Jiva Isho Vishuddha Chita Tayo Jiva Isho Vishuddha Chita Tayo Jiveshayor Vida Avidya Chitor Yogaha Shadasmakam Anadayaha. This is the shloka. Okay. Jiva Isho Vishuddha Chita Tatha Jiveshayor Vida Avidya Chitor Yogaha Shadasmakam Anadayaha. These 6 things are Anadi. In that, Jivaha, Ishaha and Vishuddha Chit, pure consciousness, which is otherwise called Brahma. So out of these 6, 3 things are Chaitanya Rupa, Jiva, Isha and Vishuddha Chitta. And other things are what? Jiveshayor, Vida, Avidya, Tachitor Yogam. They are not Chitra Swarupa. So in this shloka, where 6 beginningless things are talked about, 3 Chaitanyam alone are talked about, not 4. So that's what he's telling. Anadi Padartha Shatka Nirupane Chaitanya Traividyam Eva Uktam. 3 types of Chaitanyam, Jiva, Isha and Vishuddha Chitta. Tatra Kutastha Parityagat Na Kopi Doshaha Syat. There, because of giving up or leaving out this Kutastha, Kopi Doshaha Nasyat. There will not be any defect in presentation. Why? Kutastha brahmanoho na namamatra bhedadrite anyaha kasyana bhedaha asti. Between Kutastha and Brahma, there is no any other difference except Rite means except Nama Matra, except only names. So one limitless, attributeless consciousness is called Kutastha also from individual angle, and it is called Brahma also from the total angle. So there is no difference. Therefore, when what is said, Jiva, Isha and Vishuddha Chitta Brahma, in that Vishuddha Chitta Brahma, Chit Brahma, we can add we can include Brahma and Kutastha both. Therefore, wherever three are presented, Jiva, Isha, Brahma, in that Brahma, Kutastha should be included. Alright. Kincha, moreover, now he is presenting Vidyaranya Swamiji's Drigdrishya Vidyaranya Muni Krita Drigdrishya Vivekakya Granthe Kutastha Paramarthika Jivaha Jagrat Kalika Antahkarana Pratibimbaha Vyavharika Jivaha Swaptadrik Pratibhasika Jivaha Iti cha Nirupitam. So there also three jivas are talked about. There is a shloka in that Drigdrishya Viveka avachinnaschidabhasah trutiyaswapta kalpitaha vigneyastridho jivaha tatradyah paramarthikaha. This shloka is there, I think 33 or 34, which is later part. In Drigdrishya Viveka, generally two parts are considered. So this comes, I think, in the second one. Alright, so there three types of jivas are talked about. Avachinna jiva, Chidabhasa Rupa jiva, and Swapna Kalpita jiva. This is something, not every time talked about. Jiva which is there, imagine the Swapna who is moving about, that Swapna Kalpita jiva. That is said here. Drigdrishya Vivekakya Granthe Kutastha Paramarthika jivaha. Kutastha Atma, Avachinna Atma is considered Paramarthika jiva. Means jiva in is true nature. Jagrat Kalika Antahkarana Pratibimbaha Vyavharika Jivaha. So empirical jiva is what? Jiva which is reflected in the mind, obtaining in the waking state. And Swapnadrik is Pratibhasika jiva. The seer, the experiencer of the dream is called Pratibhasika jiva. In the dream also there is an experiencer who is experiencing different dream objects. That Swapnadrik is called Pratibhasika jiva, is called subjective jiva or apparent jiva. Iticha nirupitam. In this manner it is presented. Means there also three only Chaitanyam are presented. Anena Kutastha Jiva Koto Antarbhavitaha. By this presentation, Kutastha is Jiva Koto Antarbhavi, is included in the Jiva Koti. Jiva Koti means this Paramarthika Jiva Koti, it is included. Alright. Therefore, just incidental note that you are saying Chaturvida Chaitanya Lakshanam. So you are saying 4, but everywhere it is 3 only. So he said, where it is 3, what we are telling as the 4th one should be included in the Brahma Chaitanyam. Alright, that is incidental note. Alright, now Kutastha Varnanam. The word Kutastha refers to Sakshi Chaitanyam, witness consciousness. Nirvikara Chaitanyam, changeless consciousness, free from birth, etc. So consciousness which is obtaining in this mind or in the Karana Sharira, but not undergoing any change. That Chaitanyam, which is known as Sakshi Chaitanyam, is called here Kutastha Chaitanyam. Why is it called Kutastha Chaitanyam? Kutavat, anvil. Kutavat Nishalam Nirvikarataya Tishtati iti Kutastha. Kuta Shabda is there, Stha Dhatu Ka Pratyaya. Kutavat nirvikarataya tishtati iti kutastha. So that which remains changeless like anvil. You know, I told you what is anvil. Anvil means the blacksmith or the shoemaker. He will have that iron block on which he will be is shaping the iron pieces. But that iron pieces will be shaped, but this iron block will remain steady. It will not undergo any change. It will not move also. Very heavy it is. That is called kuta. And consciousness which remains changeless like that kuta anvil is called kutastha. So sakshi, changeless sakshi chaitanya or changeless witness consciousness is called kutastha. So now kutastha varnanam. And now Vichara Sagara, being Vichara Sagara, he gives the explanation very exhaustively. So he wants to cover maximum these views, and therefore he gives the two views about even kutastha. Buddhehe vyashti agdanasya va adhisthana bhutasya kutastha iti abhidha. Abhidha means name. So Chaitanyam, which is adhishthanam of buddhi or the adhishthanam of vyashti agdanam, individual ignorance, otherwise called karana sharira, is called kutastha Chaitanya. This definition is based on the definition of jiva. He is going to tell this. Sometimes jiva is presented as antakarana pratibimbita Chaitanyam, consciousness reflected in the mind, or consciousness endowed with the reflection. That is, when that is the definition of jiva, then the definition of kutastha will be antakarana, adhisthana chaitanyam is kutastha. So if you are seeing jiva as a reflection in antakaranam, then kutastha will be the adhishthanam of antakaranam. If you are seeing jiva as reflection in this avidya pratibimbita jiva, avidya pratibimbita chaitanyam is jiva, then kutastha will be considered adhishthanam of avidya. So it is avidya adhishthanam or karana sharira adhishthanam or antakarana adhishthanam, depending upon how you are seeing jiva. Based on the definition of jiva, the definition of kutastha will be given. So here two options are given. So what is kutastha chaitanyam? Buddhehe adhisthana bhuta chaitanyam, one. The consciousness which is adhishthanam of buddhi is kutastha chaitanyam, and the consciousness which is the adhishthanam of vyashti agdanam, otherwise called avidya. So adhishthanam of the individual ignorance, vyashti agdanam is individual ignorance, avidya is called kutastha. So antakarana adhishthanam, adhisthana bhuta chaitanyam kutastha, or avidya adhisthana chaitanyam kutastha. Two definitions are there. Alright. Yanmate. Now he clarifies that why we have to say that this or that. The buddhi adhisthana chaitanyam is kutastha, vyashti agdana adhisthana bhuta chaitanya kutastha. Why? He said yanmate. There also footnote is there. Let us finish this. Yanmate buddhi vishishtaha chaitanaha jivaha tanmate buddhi adhisthana chaitana kutastha iti uchyate. Just now I tell this. Yanmate, in whichever view, buddhi vishishta chaitanaha jivaha, consciousness endowed with the buddhi is jivaha, tanmate, in that view, buddhi adhisthana chaitanaha kutastha iti uchyate. In that view, the chaitanyam which is the adhishthanam of the buddhi is called kutastha. Yatra tu mate, however, in whichever view, vyashti agdana vishishta chaitanaha jiva iti kirtyate. In whichever view the jiva is defined, which kirtyate means defined, as the consciousness endowed with the individual ignorance, tanmate, in that view, vyashti agdana adhisthana chaitanaha kutastha iti varnyate. Here chaitana means chaitanyam. So in that view, this consciousness which is the adhishtanam of individual ignorance will be called kutastha. So how you are looking upon the jiva, depending upon that, kutastha will be described. Alright, so here tippani is a very small one. Jivaha buddhi pratibimbaha iti avidya pratibimbaha iti cha vakshamanatvat atra pakshadvayam suchitam. So he says it will be told when Jiva Swarupa Varnanam will come in next only. So that time the Jiva is Buddhi Pratibimbaha, reflection in the Buddhi or reflection in Avidya. In this manner it is going to be told. And therefore here two views are given. Alright. Atra ayam siddhantaha. In this regard, this following one is the siddhantaha, is the conclusion, doctrine. What is that? Jivatva padakam visheshanam yat tad adhishthanasya kutastha iti nama. Whatever adjective is bringing about, apadakam is bringing about the status of being jiva, tad adhishthanasya kutastha iti nama. So adhishthanam of that adjective is called kutastha. For example, if I give example, it will be clear. Jivatva apadakam visheshanam. Let us say antakaranam. So antakaranam is the adjective for jiva, which brings about the status of jiva for atma. So atma is called jivaha because of the upadhi or the adjective of antakaranam. So jivatva apadakam visheshanam kim? Antakaranam. So antakarana which is bringing about the jiva status, tad adhishthanam, antakarana adhishthanam. The adhishthanam of antakarana is called kutastha. So jivatva padakam visheshanam yat tad adhishthanam is tasya adhishthanasya kutastha iti nama. So kutastha is the name for the adhishthanam of that entity which is bringing about the jiva status for atma. And if we say that jivatva apadakam visheshanam is ajnanam, then ajnana adhishthanam will be called kutastha. Is it clear? So yad jivatva apadakam visheshanam tasya adhishthanam. The visheshanam is not kutastha. Tad, we should not say tad adhishthanasya kutastha, is not that. Tad adhishthanam is one word. Tad adhishthanasya kutastha iti nama. Okay. Ayam kutastha utpatyadi rahitaha. This kutastha is free from utpatti etc. Na jayate mriyate va. It is the description of kutastha. Asya ayam abhipraya. What is the idea conveyed by saying that this kutastha is utpatyadi rahita? So asya vakyasya ayam kutastha utpatyadi rahita iti asya vakyasya ayam abhipraya. This following is this idea conveyed, intended idea. Abhiprayam is intended idea. Brahmanah vyatiriktaya chidabhasaha yatha utpadyate na tatha kutastha utpadyate. This chidabhasa is considered to be Brahma vyatirikta. It means it is different from Brahma. Why chidabhasa means what? Chitvat abhasate iti chidabhasa. Therefore, Brahmana vyatiriktaya, being different from the nature of Brahma, therefore chidabhasaha yatha utpadyate. How the reflected consciousness is born? When it is born? When reflecting medium is born. When antakarana is born, that time chidabhasa is born. When antakarana is resolved during Shushupti or during Pralaya, then chidabhasa also is resolved. So chidabhasa is yatha utpadyate. How this reflected consciousness is born? Na tatha kutastha utpadyate. Like that kutastha is not born. Say vyatirika drishtanta. How this chidabhasa is born? Like that kutastha is not born. Kintu brahma rupaha eva sa bhavati. This kutastha is of the nature of Brahman alone. Saha means kutastha. That kutastha is of the nature of Brahman, remains Brahma Rupa only. And he gives the example, Yatha Ghatakashaha Mahakashat na Vyatiriktaha. Just as pot space is not different from the total space, Kintu Mahakasha Rupa Heva Bhavati, but it is always of the nature of Mahakasha, total space. Tadvat, similarly, we have to supply was Tadvat Kutasthaha Kutasthaha Brahmanaha na Vyatiriktaha. Kintu Brahma Rupa Eva Bhavati. Now further he gives the details. Ayam cha kutasthaha atmapada lakshyarthaha. This kutastha is the implied meaning of the word atma. Whenever we say atma is one with Brahma, that time the lakshyartha of atma is kutastha. Vachyartha is what? Jivaha. Sopadika jiva is the vachyartha of the word atma. Lakshyartha is this kutastha chaitanyam. So when we say atma and Brahman are one, that time we are taking the lakshyartha of the word atma, which is kutastha atma. Then some more details. Kutasthasya eva pratyagiti nijaswarupamiti jiva sakshi iti cha vyapadeshaha. Vyapadesha means name. This kutastha alone is called pratyagatma, inner self. Why it is inner? Because nothing is inside. So in your journey, cognitive journey of what is Atma, you go inside Anyantaratma, from Annamaya you go to Pranamaya, etc., Anandamaya, then again you reach this consciousness. Afterward there is nothing to go inside. Therefore it is called Pratyagatma, innermost. And innermost means it is not available for objectification. Anything is outside will be objectified. This is not. It is the of the nature of illuminator, not pratyak. Nija swarupam, it is one's own true nature. This kutastha chaitanyam is one's own true nature. Therefore, it's called nija swarupam, and also called jiva sakshi. It is the sakshi jiva, which is in the form of sakshi. The jivasya sakshi idina, jiva rupa sakshi. So sakshi, which is obtaining behind this jiva, that is jiva sakshi. Iti vyapadeshaha. In Vedanta Paribhasha, jiva sakshi, Ishvara sakshi. There are two types of sakshi. So jiva sakshi, roughly we can say, it is a sakshi of the jiva upadhi. It is, otherwise jiva and sakshi are one only. So jiva is the aupadhika rupa. Sakshi is a nirupadhika rupa. That's all. Iti vyapadeshaha. And now final. Kutasthaha Ghatakasha Sthaniha. I hope he had told in the beginning itself, but he said at the end. Kutastha is, Sthaniya means comparable to Ghatakasha, pot space. Space number 1 described as Ghatakasha. What is Ghatakasha? Space occupied by pot is Ghatakasha. Similarly, this Kutastha is like that Ghatakasha means Kutastha is the consciousness which is obtaining in this Antakaranam, but not limited by Antakaranam. He is called Kutastha. Then Jiva Swarupa Vardanam we'll see in the next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Guru